and he is also a Penns Manor School Board member. What don't you do? My goodness gracious.
I spend a lot of time doing things I enjoy, I guess. I
Well,
don't know.
that's good. Well, that's a good thing and a good way
I
to
enjoy
approach it.
that thought. That's just the way I'm wired. So it's all good stuff.
Our conversation this morning brought to you by Marcus and Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Well, the hat that he is wearing today is the fire chief hat. Cherryhill Township going to dedicate the new engine house. It's a pretty spectacular looking thing, isn't it?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it is. I tell you what, a lot of time and a lot of thought and effort went into it, and a lot of people contributed to that. So we're really excited to finally be dedicating that, having a community celebration on Sunday. Just to, two things. One, just, kind of make sure that we, do it properly and dedicate the building to the founders of our company and to our community, but also just to help bring community together and give them a day to celebrate and fellowship and, and just thank all the people that made it possible, really.
Well, you use that word community, and this really is what community is all about, isn't it?
Oh, I said this, Todd. I think that that engine house, it really starts with the fact that, without the community support, like not only financially, but also just, the moral support that the community provides us. And when I say community, I mean even our supporters, like near and far. The reach of the support that our fire company gets is way beyond the borders of Cherryhill Township as well. And I think that when we built the building, a lot of the contractors were local, reside within Cherryhill Township or nearby. And, I always say this, they made their money, but they certainly didn't make the money they would have made if they were doing the job for somebody they didn't know. And I just think that when community comes together, like we have in Cherryhill Township, and how, the people, that building is a testament of what positive can happen when community comes together. I'm a big believer that, I think our country was founded on our Christian principles. I do believe in the concept that family should help family, neighbor should help neighbor, and community should help community. And I just think that's what we're trying to celebrate on Sunday, and I also try to just help reacquaint people through COVID that haven't connected for a while, and and let's call it, the world's pretty transient today, and I think that the people who are newer to Cherryhill Township, to give them an opportunity to come down and just kind of meet new people and make new friendships and stuff like that. And so I'm just looking really forward to Sunday. I just think it's a great example of what community can do when they come together.
Well, what are people going to see with this new building that they didn't have the opportunity to see before?
Well, first, I think what we're going to do for today is Cherryhill Township is home to several, when I say several, it's a lot of churches. So it was really important to us to include the churches and the congregations of those churches that make up our community. So we're going to start the day at 10 o'clock with a non-denominational church service. And then as that goes, we're going to kind of follow and blend right into the dedication and blessing of the building. Following that, we'll have an open house and also some light refreshments. And the idea of the light refreshments really is to hold people over, because we also have musical performances. We have commitments from Connie Barnes, who's the local lady out in our area that's a phenomenal singer. Anthony Frazier, which obviously is well known across the area and just a solid person. And then Lauren Yakubowski, who I have the pleasure of having her children at Homer Center. Lauren actually is one of our substitutes at Homer Center, and she blew us away at Homer Center last year. She performed some songs, and it was just like, and Lauren's a pretty reserved person, and wow, can she perform? She's really good. So basically that's the idea of the day, is to kind of have people, kind of gather and fellowship, celebrate, and then provide some things for them to stick around and just, like I said, fellowship with each other, get to reacquaint with people they haven't seen, see our fire station, get to meet new people. And really the theme of the day for us is community and service to others. I don't care if somebody is with the fire company. I don't care if they belong to their local church. I just think that a community can become stronger if we just kind of take those principles of we help our family, we help our neighbor, we help our community. So think what you want about the world. Our goal is to try to make our little dot of Cherryhill Township, trying to make that just a stronger community through gathering together and letting the engine house be an example of what can happen when people come together and do something special like they did.
Well, there's also the feeling of pressing the pause button a little bit on life. With all of the rushing around that we all have to do and all of the schedules that we all have to keep, the idea of just getting together as a community and as family members and people with a history with the Cherryhill Township Volunteer Fire Department, reconnecting with all of that history and seeing what it's all about now. And people take great pride in their fire companies, and they should with this too.
Oh, absolutely, and it's and also I'm hopeful, and I'm pretty sure that across Indiana County we've invited all the other fire companies to join us. We have great relationships with the companies across Indiana County, so a chance for us too to kind of a lot of times when we see each other from different companies, it's usually on somebody's worst day. So to be able to take a pause and just talk to people and make stronger relationships with mutual aid partners, I think is really important. And one thing about the building is I'm very cognizant of the history of Cherryhill Township Fire Company. Really one of the things, Todd, that impacted me most, I've lived in Penn Run my entire life, is I remember growing up, I was probably about 8 years old, and the greenhouse, where our new engine house sits, is the former Markle's greenhouse.
Yeah.
And so it burnt down on a Friday night. I was probably 8, maybe 9 years old. And I vividly remember the next day, that fire happened in early evening, and the next day by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there was a new greenhouse standing there ready for operation, because there was probably about 100 community members down there that helped the Markles put that thing back together. I just think that shows you a lot about that. And, and my grandfather, Dick Fyock, was a founding member of that fire company, 50 years of active service, like answering the alarm for 50 years. Mm-hmm. And I think that as we're about 95% moved in, but one of the things that we've been very cognizant of is representing the history, honoring the people that started that fire company. We're very much in tune to that, and my degree is in history, and I love that stuff. But I just think it's really awesome to be able to teach other people in our fire company the history and what they did. And so so I think it's not only a celebration, but it's also a remembrance and honoring those who came before us and who laid the foundation for what I think is something pretty special in Cherryhill Township.
From a fire company operational standpoint, obviously this building is going to enable the fire company to do things that it probably couldn't do before.
Oh, absolutely. The original station, a lot of people ask about the original station too, what we're doing with it. That original station was built in 1954, and it was it was a fire hall, and it had one engine bay. That's what it had. And so as the fire company evolved, then it was there's this addition added on, the second garage bay, then another addition to the garage. And for us, being stacked like this, you had to move 2 trucks to get the truck out that you really needed and stuff like that. And what we're finding already is that, and having 5 bays and having 5 pieces of apparatus is much more efficient. The technology that we have incorporated into the new station is phenomenal. And just having room to inspect and repair and fix and meet, and the communications room is upgraded significantly. So I just think that overall it provides a space for us to really provide the best service we can and do it more efficiently, but it's also designed to, we always look at 30 years ahead. So there's so many things that that new station can do. And the old station, it's going to remain. We store a lot of our reserve equipment there. We also do a lot of our community events, fundraising, and stuff like that in that building. And, so I just think that, we are really set up to best serve the community in the most efficient and safest way we can.
Yeah, it's really going to be something to see, and folks get their chance to do that coming up this Sunday at the Cherryhill Township Fire Station, and there in Penn Run. 10 a.m. is when it all gets underway. Wouldn't hurt if some younger folks stop by and see that it's a great organization, and maybe say to themselves, maybe I want to be a part of this too.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the big thing to me is, obviously we're starting at 10 o'clock with a non-denominational church service, but also we're if people can't make it at 10, they're welcome to come and stay as long as they can. If they can come late, check out the new station and tour it as part of the open house. And that, when I say people, I mean everybody. Obviously, not only Cherryhill Township community, but, we have, like I said, across the region. I mean, everybody that's out there, if you want to come out and join us in celebration and just kind of check it out, everyone's invited. There is no cost associated with it at all. We are, we are even asked, I will say this, we are, during the church service, they asked if they wanted to collect an offering for the fire company. I told them absolutely not. I don't want anyone to feel obligated, but we are going to collect the offering. We're going to donate those proceeds to the Disabled Veterans Chapter in Indiana County. So that's, something really important to us is supporting military veterans and stuff like that. And, so I just really thought that was a great example of, hopefully the community can help by supporting the disabled veterans and doing something like that through the offering that we will be conducting during the church service.
Engine house dedication is Sunday, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Cherryhill Township Fire Company, and Jody Rainey, the chief, has been with us this morning. Appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, Todd. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I hope everybody comes out. And if it does rain, like it looks like it might, we have contingency plans, guys. Bring an umbrella for the ribbon cutting, but other than that, we will be indoors, and we will use both facilities if we need to due to weather and stuff like that. So, come early, stay late, come late, stay, just check us out. Come out and meet some people and check out what is accomplished in Cherry Hill, and I hope we see everybody out there on Sunday. 10 o'clock is when it starts, and we're going to be there probably until at least 3 o'clock.
Beautiful. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Jody, thanks.
Thanks, Todd.